So, I don't love to do love readings because there's so many different situations, and sometimes you can end up taking messages that aren't for you just because they're the things that you want to hear. And I speak from much experience about this. I ended up staying in relationships far too long because I twisted the tarot advice to my own benefit. But I thought it might be interesting to do the pick a card thing, because then it's your more specific situation as opposed to one general reading. So I have 3 piles here. Please concentrate on the one that you believe most resonates with you, and I will read them one by one. Each deck. Each one is a situation. The card on top is the current obstacle to overcome. Okay, so let's start with this pile here. The obstacle is the card of innocence. We have the Page of Cups. We have Mother Mary, who says, let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. We have the Isolation card. We have By the Book in reverse. And we have, from the Love Oracle, have patience. Love is patient and kind as always. Okay. Sorry, let me just organize these. Okay, so let's start with the obstacle. And the obstacle, this is the Sun card in the regular deck. And it talks about rebirth, about childish joy, about vitality and innocence, And so what seems to be coming across here, this card is about a guy who he gets invited a lot to places, but he doesn't go because he's getting kind of stuck in his ways, which, look at this message, is by the book, and this came out in the reverse. So this talks about a little bit about a rigidity of thought or rigidity of habit. And Mother Mary here also says, let go of the need to be right. Now, there's a famous saying that says you can be right or you can be in relationship. So I think if this is a situation where there's a lot of conflict, I would ask to reflect on the necessity of staying stuck in a way of having to have things according to your or the other person's expectations of how things should go, right? Or perhaps you're not being as successful as you would like to be because you're kind of stuck in this rigid pattern about like jaded. And so it's asking you to be, even with this Page of Cups here, to maybe go out, have fun, let go a little bit, loosen the strings, maybe be less. Maybe the relationship has become a lot about rules and about how things have to go, and somebody feels like there's an obligation on their behavior, and so they don't want to participate because they keep having to put on this suit in order to perform in the relationship. So whatever this love situation here is, needs a bit of a dose of fun, look and see, they're both sort of offering that gesture is mimicked, and this was the obstacle. So, and this is the advice. So I would suggest in this situation, perhaps a loosening of sort of old mental paradigms. Try and infuse whatever the situation is with more fun, more childlike innocence, with a softer energy that moves away from a relationship about rules and moves into more of a relationship about the simple pleasures in life. Okay, so that's pile number 1. Let's do pile number 2. Okay, so we have, as the obstacle, the rebel. We have the 2 of Cups. We have Lady Venus. Downloads and understanding. The truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven in the astral realm. So maybe you're starting to figure out. We have the Victim card. We have Serendipity, but in the reverse. And we have Be authentic to who you really are. You are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel, which is interesting because that's the downloads and understanding about this partnership. Okay, so this card here is the Emperor in the usual deck, or in the Rider-Waite deck. And this, as an obstacle, suggests that in Osho's description, he talks about the person as being a rebel, not because they're rebellious, but very simply the fact that they are themselves. They are rebellious enough to not kowtow to society around them or to expectations. And so this is an interesting obstacle because actually what comes up over here is be authentic to who you are. This Serendipity card in the reverse suggests that things aren't going the way that you expected them to, and that excuse me, you may feel like you've been cheated, or that things just aren't going to work out the way you planned or the way you hoped, and you may feel like you're in a situation that looked like it was going to be more promising, but it's not, and that may be part of the truth that's coming out. What these cards, however, ask or suggest, particularly with this singular card over this 2 of Cups, is that in one of the issues in the relationship is that someone is not being themselves. So someone is adjusting their behavior to fit into this partnership. And in order for partnerships to be equal exchanges, both people have to feel like they are free to be themselves. And so in this situation, it looks like someone feels like they're always having to bend or break to the other's will, and there's not an expression of that. So I would suggest in this situation, if it's you or if it's the other person, a healthy conversation about where the block is, where they're not, or where they perhaps feel like they're not allowed to express themselves, and how to bring it back from somebody, breaking the chains there, to being free to offer each other their cup, as opposed to this perhaps a sense of obligation that there might be in there, which would lead to a victimhood. Like if one of the person feels obligated to be in the relationship, then they're going to feel as if they're a victim of the circumstances. So there needs to be an expression of personal freedom within this situation, and someone needs to feel that it's okay that they are completely and totally themselves to turn this energy around. Okay? Let's now look at the last pile. Okay, the obstacle is going with the flow. Then we have the 6 of Cups. We have Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Then we have service. Then we have the fates. And finally, love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Okay, so this obstacle here, is really just about actual blocks in the relationship. And this may feel like a difficult moment because looking at these two cards, it looks like someone may be either taking care of the other, perhaps there's a health situation, perhaps things are unbalanced at the moment, and you may feel, or the other person may feel, taken advantage of, or that it's just not necessarily a fun moment in the relationship. Now, this card says that indeed this relationship is fated, destined, and it's there for a reason. And it's there to help teach you. It's also helped to bring you closer to your authentic self. Now, the other thing that this card says here is that true love endures. So it feels to me like it may be a moment, perhaps a difficult moment, where things feel a little bit out of balance, and you're wondering, is this going to last? And this suggests that it does. This one also suggests that there is a very specific reason that this relationship is in your life, or that this situation is in your life. And that if you can get through this moment without having to abdicate yourself, because Joan of Arc wants you to speak your truth, it feels like it can get to a better place. So perhaps you're in a difficult moment right now. Perhaps there's a problem with children or with elderly parents, and it's putting a strain on your relationship. This one asks, I would say, count your blessings, okay? Because you see all those stars there. Focus on what's good in the relationship, how you can be of service, or how the other person can be of service. Usually we take turns sometimes in being the person up and in being the person down. If you are constantly the person in service, then Joan of Arc is here to say, hey, hold up, I need some attention too. This can't go on forever. And that may be the lesson that you're to learn right now, is how to speak your truth, how to balance these situations out. But I would say with this going with the flow and love endures, it looks like there's definitely a future for this situation. It might just be in a moment. Okay? Hope that was helpful, and I'll speak to you soon.